Hi everybody, my name is Blake Sieck, and this is a single institution study on remediation effectiveness between NBME end of semester final examination versus individualized examination. For our introduction, we analyzed the various remediation processes that were present for the preclinical curriculum at the Kirk-Corrigan School of Medicine. The two methods that we had used were the comprehensive end of semester examination, which is exactly as it sounds, and then if a student wasn't able to show content mastery using that method for remediation, we then moved on to NBME single subject exams. And those were given as a second opportunity to show content mastery, but they had a single subject focus, whereas the comprehensive end of semester exams might have 4 or 5 subjects on it. So for our methods, performance records were collected and analyzed for 77 students who failed to meet the passing threshold. With that data, we then did a Pearson chi-square analysis to compare between the comprehensive end of semester exams and the individualized examination method. For our results, we found that 64 failed exams were able to be remediated using the comprehensive end of semester exams, whereas 13 required the additional remediation that was present using the NBME single subject exams. For that, we then did the Pearson chi-square analysis, which then showed a significant difference between the two methods. In the middle, we have a photo of a printout that you would get from an NBME performance report. And why this is important is because it's important to understand what we considered requiring remediation, and then thus when somebody completed remediation and displayed content mastery. So in this column here, you can see that all the way to the left, let me get the laser pointer, all the way to the left in this column, those would be labeled as students who would need to display content mastery and would require remediation in those areas. And then we would consider that student remediated when they were at least able to get into this middle category. And we would want them to get into that middle category for two things: versus themselves, so making sure it's not one of their own weak areas in their own content knowledge, and then making sure that they were in the middle category relative to other people as well. As far as our discussion, the Kirk-Corrigan School of Medicine recently was tinkering with their remediation protocol in an effort to save faculty time. We might need to potentially revisit that to determine if we are able to still meet students' remediation needs while still saving faculty time. So the conclusion is that the more focused and individualized remediation that we came up with does line up with previous literature. In the upper right-hand corner here, you can see our statistical analysis, and you can see that 3 out of 64 students were considered fully remediated, as we discussed before, with the comprehensive end of semester exam method, whereas 5 out of 13 were considered remediated using the individualized NBME exam method. For our conclusions and future research, these findings suggest that students who required remediation with individualized examinations are more likely to demonstrate remediation long term. That's our big takeaway. As far as our limitations for this study, we had limited class sizes with only 60 students per cohort at the UNLV, or at the Kirk-Corrigan School of Medicine at UNLV. This is, as I've discussed, just a single institution study, and the other limitation we have is that it does not evaluate past the preclinical education, which is an 18-month time frame at the Kirk-Corrigan School of Medicine, whereas medical school and a physician's training goes on through almost a lifetime. Thank you.